Growth over grades is a mindset shift that changes the entire approach to education, learning, and personal development. Too often, students are conditioned to believe that their worth and intelligence are measured by the numbers on a report card. Society has built a system that places more emphasis on test scores and rankings than on the actual process of learning. But the reality is, grades are temporary, while knowledge and skills last a lifetime. This obsession with grades has created an environment where students are more concerned with memorization than understanding, more focused on passing exams than truly mastering subjects. Consider this: if education were truly about learning, then the goal would not be to simply regurgitate information for a test, but to develop the ability to think critically, solve problems, and apply knowledge in real-world scenarios. Yet many students find themselves stuck in a cycle of cramming, forgetting, and repeating. This cycle does not create thinkers or innovators. It creates individuals who learn for the sake of exams rather than for the sake of personal and intellectual growth. The problem is that grades provide an illusion of success. A student who earns a perfect score may appear more intelligent than one who struggles, but that is not necessarily true. The student who struggles, asks questions, and seeks to understand is engaging in a much deeper learning process than the one who simply memorized answers. The pressure to achieve high grades often leads to stress, anxiety, and even burnout. Students feel immense pressure to perform, sometimes at the cost of their mental well-being. They stay up late, sacrifice their hobbies, and even neglect their health just to get a higher score. But what happens after the exam? How much of that knowledge is retained? How much of it is actually useful? The unfortunate reality is that much of what is learned for the sake of a test is quickly forgotten once the test is over. This proves that the system is flawed, not because grades exist, but because they have become the ultimate goal instead of the byproduct of real learning. A growth-oriented mindset shifts the focus from performance to progress. It teaches students that education is not about proving how much they know in a single moment, but about continuously expanding their knowledge and capabilities. When students embrace growth over grades, they become more willing to take risks, make mistakes, and learn from failures. They stop seeing mistakes as signs of weakness and start seeing them as opportunities to improve. This mindset is what separates those who succeed in the long run from those who simply excel in school. Think about the most successful people in the world: entrepreneurs, scientists, artists, and leaders. They were not necessarily the ones who had perfect grades. They were the ones who remained curious, kept learning, and developed resilience in the face of challenges. Many of the greatest innovators struggled academically. Albert Einstein was labeled a slow learner. Steve Jobs dropped out of college. Elon Musk faced repeated failures before achieving success. What they had in common was not perfect academic records, but a relentless commitment to learning and growth. They understood that success is not about knowing all the answers. It's about knowing how to find solutions, how to adapt, and how to keep improving. A growth mindset also fosters a love for learning. When students focus on growth rather than grades, they begin to see education as a journey rather than a competition. They take ownership of their learning and become self-motivated rather than driven by external rewards. Instead of studying just to pass an exam, they study because they genuinely want to understand a subject. This intrinsic motivation leads to deeper engagement and long-term retention of knowledge. Furthermore, when students adopt a growth mindset, they become more open to feedback and constructive criticism. Instead of fearing failure, they learn to embrace it as a natural part of progress. This not only enhances their academic performance, but also prepares them for the real world, where success is often built on the ability to learn from setbacks. Life does not reward those who never make mistakes. It rewards those who learn from them and keep moving forward. Another important aspect of focusing on growth over grades is that it encourages creativity and innovation. When students are only concerned with getting the right answer, they may hesitate to think outside the box or explore new ideas. But when they prioritize learning and improvement, they are more willing to experiment, take intellectual risks, and develop unique solutions. This ability to think creatively is invaluable in any field, whether it be science, technology, business, or the arts. This mindset also changes the way students approach challenges. In a grade-focused system, difficult subjects or low scores can feel like failures. But in a growth-focused approach, challenges are seen as opportunities to improve. A student with this mindset does not avoid difficult subjects out of fear of getting a bad grade. Instead, they embrace the challenge, put in the effort, and strive to get better over time. This resilience and perseverance will serve them far beyond the classroom. It will shape their approach to life. It is also worth noting that when students focus on growth rather than grades, they develop stronger problem-solving skills. Instead of memorizing formulas or definitions without understanding their applications, they learn how to think critically, analyze information, and apply their knowledge to real-world situations. This makes their education far more meaningful and prepares them for success beyond school. The shift from grades to growth is not just about academic success. It is about lifelong success. It is about developing a mindset that values progress, effort, and continuous learning. Students who adopt this mindset do not just excel in school, they thrive in life. They are not afraid to challenge themselves, to step outside their comfort zones, and to pursue their passions with determination. To nurture, ultimately, the goal of education should not be to produce students who can score well on tests, but individuals who are capable of thinking critically, adapting to change, and solving complex problems. And this can only happen when students embrace the idea that growth matters more than grades. If you focus on getting better every day, the results will follow naturally. Success is not defined by a single test score, but by the mindset that drives you to keep learning, keep growing, and keep pushing forward. Curiosity as the driver is a mindset that transforms the way we approach education and life. Too often students are taught what to think, but not how to think. They are given answers before they even have the chance to ask questions. This creates a passive learning experience where information is absorbed without real engagement. However, curiosity changes everything. When curiosity drives learning, education becomes an active process rather than a passive one. Instead of simply memorizing facts, students begin to explore, question, and connect ideas in ways that make learning meaningful. The most successful people in any field are not those who simply followed instructions. They are the ones who asked better questions. A curious mind does not settle for what is given. It seeks to understand the why and the how. It looks beyond the surface and explores deeper possibilities. Consider the greatest scientific discoveries, groundbreaking innovations, and revolutionary ideas in history. They were not born out of compliance, but out of curiosity. Albert Einstein famously said, "I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious." It was his deep sense of wonder that led him to challenge established theories and develop new ways of understanding the universe. Curiosity fuels problem solving. In the classroom, students who ask questions learn more than those who simply accept what is taught. They make connections that others miss. They engage with the material on a deeper level, and they develop a habit of thinking critically. When curiosity is the driving force, learning does not feel like a chore. It becomes an exciting journey of discovery. A student who is curious about history does not just memorize dates and events. They explore the reasons behind historical movements, analyze their impact, and relate them to the present. A curious student in mathematics does not just solve equations mechanically. They seek to understand the logic behind formulas and how they apply to real-world situations. Beyond academics, curiosity is the key to lifelong learning. The world is constantly changing, and those who stop being curious stop growing. The most adaptable and successful individuals are the ones who continuously seek new knowledge and skills. In today's fast-evolving world where technology is reshaping industries and knowledge is expanding at an unprecedented rate, the ability to learn and relearn is more valuable than any single degree or qualification. Curiosity also fosters creativity. When students are encouraged to explore their interests and ask unconventional questions, they become more innovative. They begin to see multiple solutions to a problem instead of just one. They develop the ability to think outside the box, which is a skill that sets leaders apart from followers. Some of the most groundbreaking inventions and ideas in history came from people who dared to ask, "What if?" and "Why not?" Instead of accepting the world as it is, they imagined what it could be. Another powerful effect of curiosity is that it helps students develop resilience. Learning is not always easy. There will be difficult subjects, confusing concepts, and moments of frustration. But when curiosity is the driving force, setbacks do not feel like failures. They feel like challenges waiting to be solved. A curious student does not give up when they do not understand something immediately. Instead, they dig deeper, ask more questions, and persist until they find the answer. This mindset creates a love for learning that lasts beyond school and into every aspect of life. Education should not be about simply passing exams. It should be about developing thinkers, explorers, and problem solvers. When students are encouraged to be curious, they take ownership of their education. They do not wait for teachers to tell them what to learn. They seek knowledge on their own. They develop a habit of self-directed learning, which is a crucial skill in both personal and professional life. In a world where information is readily available, the ability to ask the right questions is more important than simply knowing the right answers. The best way to cultivate curiosity is to create an environment where questions are valued more than answers. Students should be encouraged to challenge ideas, explore multiple perspectives, and pursue topics that genuinely interest them. When curiosity is nurtured, learning becomes limitless. It is no longer confined to textbooks and classrooms. It extends to every experience, every conversation, and every opportunity to grow. Resilience is greater than talent because no amount of natural ability can replace the power of perseverance. Talent is often overrated. While it may provide an initial advantage, it is resilience that determines long-term success. The world is full of talented individuals who never reach their full potential because they lack the ability to push through difficulties. Meanwhile, there are countless stories of people who were not naturally gifted but achieved greatness through sheer determination and effort. Resilience means embracing failure as part of the journey. In a traditional education system, failure is often seen as something negative, something to be avoided at all costs. But in reality, failure is one of the most valuable teachers. Every setback provides an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to improve. The most successful people in the world are not those who never failed, but those who refuse to let failure define them. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. J.K. Rowling faced multiple rejections before her books became a global phenomenon. What they had in common was not extraordinary talent, but extraordinary resilience. Resilience is built through challenges. When students are faced with difficult subjects, complex problems, or setbacks in their academic journey, they have two choices: to give up or to keep going. Those who choose to persist develop a strength that goes beyond academics. They learn how to handle adversity, how to manage frustration, and how to keep moving forward despite obstacles. This is a skill that will serve them far beyond the classroom. In life, there will be challenges, rejections, and failures. Those who are resilient will continue to grow, while those who rely solely on talent may struggle when things do not come easily. One of the biggest misconceptions about success is that it comes from natural ability. In reality, success is the result of effort, consistency, and the willingness to overcome difficulties. A student who struggles in math but works hard every day to improve will eventually surpass the naturally talented student who never puts in the effort. This is why the most successful athletes, artists, and professionals are not always the most talented. They are the ones who practiced the most, who kept pushing forward even when things got tough. Resilience also develops confidence. When students face challenges and overcome them, they gain a sense of accomplishment that builds their belief in their abilities. They realize that they are capable of more than they thought. This confidence carries over into every aspect of life. When they enter the workforce, they will not be afraid to take risks, to learn new skills, or to step outside their comfort zones. They will have the mindset that no challenge is too big to overcome with persistence and effort. Another important aspect of resilience is adaptability. The world is changing rapidly, and those who cannot adapt will struggle to keep up. Resilient individuals do not fear change, they embrace it. They see challenges as opportunities to grow rather than as obstacles. Whether it is learning new technology, adjusting to a new work environment, or facing unexpected life events, those who have developed resilience will navigate these changes with confidence. The ability to bounce back from failure, to keep going despite difficulties, and to continuously push for improvement is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who give up too soon. Education should not only teach students information, it should teach them how to be resilient, how to handle setbacks, and how to develop the perseverance needed to succeed in any field. Talent may open doors, but resilience is what keeps them open. A student who understands this will never see challenges as the end of the road, but as stepping stones toward success. The world does not reward those who never fail. It rewards those who never quit. The key to success is not just ability, but the determination to keep moving forward no matter the obstacles. Collaboration over competition is a fundamental mindset shift that changes how we learn, grow, and succeed. In the traditional education system, students are often taught to compete against one another. They are ranked, graded, and compared as if success is a limited resource that only a few can attain. This environment creates a culture of rivalry where students focus more on outshining their peers than on actual learning. But the real world does not work this way. The most successful people are not those who hoard knowledge for themselves, but those who share, collaborate, and build together. Innovation, progress, and breakthroughs happen when people work together, not when they compete in isolation. Collaboration allows individuals to leverage each other's strengths. No one person has all the skills, knowledge, or abilities to succeed alone. Even the most brilliant minds in history worked with others to achieve greatness. Scientific discoveries, technological advancements, and artistic masterpieces were not created in a vacuum. They were the result of teams working together, sharing ideas, and challenging each other to think bigger. The most successful organizations in the world do not hire the smartest individuals just to compete with each other. They build teams where each person contributes their unique strengths to achieve a common goal. In a collaborative environment, learning becomes deeper and more meaningful. When students work together, they gain new perspectives, learn from each other's experiences, and develop critical thinking skills. A student who struggles with a subject can benefit from the knowledge of a peer, while a student who excels can reinforce their understanding by teaching others. This creates a positive cycle where everyone grows together, rather than a system where one person's success comes at the expense of another's. Collaboration also builds essential life skills that go far beyond academics. The ability to work with others, communicate effectively, and solve problems as a team is invaluable in any career. No matter how talented an individual is, their success in the real world will depend on their ability to collaborate. Employers do not just look for intelligence or technical skills. They look for people who can work well with others, adapt to different situations, and contribute to a team's success. One of the biggest misconceptions about competition is that it drives excellence. While competition can be a motivator in some cases, it often creates unnecessary stress, fear of failure, and a mindset of scarcity. When students are too focused on being better than their peers, they may avoid taking risks or exploring new ideas because they fear making mistakes. This limits creativity, stifles innovation, and discourages deep learning. On the other hand, collaboration fosters an environment where students feel safe to experiment, ask questions, and learn from failures without fear of judgment. The shift from competition to collaboration also leads to greater emotional intelligence. When students work together, they develop empathy, learn to listen, and understand different perspectives. They become more supportive, more open-minded, and more willing to help others succeed. This is a crucial skill in both personal and professional life. The most effective leaders are not those who dominate others, but those who empower their teams. The most respected professionals are not those who try to prove they are the best, but those who uplift those around them. Education should not be about ranking students against one another. It should be about preparing them for a world where success is built on teamwork, communication, and shared growth. When students embrace collaboration, they stop seeing their peers as rivals and start seeing them as partners in learning. This mindset shift creates an environment where everyone wins, where success is not a zero-sum game, but a shared journey. Purpose over pressure is another key mindset that transforms the way we approach education and success. Too many students feel overwhelmed by societal expectations, parental pressure, and the constant demand to meet external standards. They study not because they are passionate about learning, but because they feel obligated to achieve high grades, get into prestigious universities, and secure well-paying jobs. While goals and achievements are important, success that is driven purely by pressure often leads to stress, burnout, and a lack of fulfillment. On the other hand, when students find purpose in what they do, learning becomes an exciting and meaningful experience rather than a burden. Purpose gives students a reason to learn beyond just passing exams. A student who is passionate about science is not just studying for a test. They are exploring the mysteries of the universe, discovering how things work, and developing a deeper understanding of the world. A student who loves writing is not just completing assignments. They are learning how to express themselves, tell stories, and connect with others through words. When students have a sense of purpose, they become intrinsically motivated, meaning they no longer need external rewards to push them forward. They study because they want to, not because they have to. One of the dangers of pressure-driven learning is that it creates a fixed mindset where students believe their worth is tied to their achievements. They fear failure because they see it as a reflection of their ability or intelligence. This mindset can be crippling, making students afraid to take risks or challenge themselves. However, when students focus on purpose rather than pressure, they develop a growth mindset. They understand that failure is not the end but a step toward improvement. They see challenges as opportunities to grow rather than as threats to their self-worth. Purpose also makes learning more sustainable. When students are driven by pressure, they may achieve short-term success, but they often struggle with long-term motivation. They may perform well on exams, but quickly forget what they learned. However, when students learn with purpose, they retain information longer, engage more deeply with the material, and develop skills that stay with them for life. Passionate learners do not stop learning when they leave school. They continue to grow, explore, and evolve throughout their lives. Another important aspect of purpose-driven learning is that it helps students discover their strengths and interests. When students are constantly pressured to meet external expectations, they may pursue paths that are not truly aligned with their passions. They may choose careers based on societal approval rather than personal fulfillment. However, when students focus on purpose, they take the time to explore different subjects, discover what excites them, and pursue careers that align with their values and interests. Finding purpose in education also leads to greater well-being. When students feel a sense of meaning in what they do, they experience less stress, greater happiness, and a stronger sense of fulfillment. They do not view education as a series of obstacles to overcome, but as an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. This shift in perspective makes learning more enjoyable and life more meaningful. A purpose-driven mindset is not just about academic success. It is about developing a lifelong love for learning, pursuing meaningful goals, and finding joy in the process of growth. It is about shifting from a mindset of obligation to a mindset of inspiration. When students focus on purpose over pressure, they stop chasing external validation and start creating a path that is truly fulfilling. Education should not be about forcing students into predefined molds. It should be about helping them discover their unique strengths, passions, and purpose. When students learn for the sake of growth rather than for the sake of approval, they become more confident, more creative, and more resilient. They are not just preparing for a job, they are preparing for a life of meaning, contribution, and continuous learning. Success is not about being better than others, it is about becoming the best version of yourself. It is not about meeting society's expectations, it is about pursuing what truly matters to you. When students shift their focus from external pressure to internal purpose, they unlock their full potential, not just as students, but as lifelong learners, innovators, and leaders. Success is not defined by intelligence, talent, or luck. It is defined by consistency. The world is full of people who have great ideas, big dreams, and ambitious goals, but only a small percentage of them turn those aspirations into reality. The difference between those who succeed and those who do not is not a matter of talent, but of persistence. Consistency is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. It is the daily commitment to improvement, the willingness to show up even when motivation fades, and the discipline to keep moving forward despite setbacks. One of the biggest misconceptions about success is that it happens overnight. People see the final product, the athlete winning a championship, the entrepreneur building a multi-million-dollar company, the musician performing in front of thousands, but they rarely see the years of effort, failures, and relentless dedication that led to that moment. Success is not about one big breakthrough. It is about small, daily actions that accumulate over time. It is about putting in the work when no one is watching, when results are not immediate, and when the process feels slow. Consistency is what turns potential into mastery. No one is born great at anything. The greatest minds, artists, and innovators did not start out as experts. They became experts through consistent effort. A writer who commits to writing every day will improve far more than one who writes only when they feel inspired. A student who studies a little each day will retain more knowledge than one who crams the night before an exam. A musician who practices consistently will outshine one who only plays when they feel like it. Talent may provide a starting advantage, but it is consistency that leads to true excellence. One of the greatest barriers to consistency is the expectation of immediate results. People start a new habit, a new project, or a new goal, and when they do not see instant progress, they get discouraged and quit. This is why so many people abandon their New Year's resolutions, why businesses fail within their first few years, and why students give up on difficult subjects. But true progress is slow and often invisible at first. A tree does not grow overnight. It takes years of steady nourishment. The same is true for personal growth, skill development, and success. Those who succeed are not the ones who work the hardest for a week or a month. They are the ones who kept going when progress was barely noticeable. Consistency builds trust, both with yourself and with others. When you are consistent, you prove to yourself that you can be relied upon. You develop confidence in your ability to follow through, which strengthens your self-discipline and work ethic. Others also take notice. Whether in academics, work, or personal relationships, people respect those who show up consistently, who follow through on their commitments, and who do not let setbacks derail them. Employers, teachers, and mentors value individuals who can be counted on to deliver results, not just when they are motivated, but all the time. Another powerful aspect of consistency is that it removes the burden of decision-making. When something becomes a habit, you no longer have to rely on willpower to get it done. A student who makes studying a daily routine does not have to constantly force themselves to open a book. It becomes automatic. A person who exercises every morning does not have to negotiate with themselves about whether they feel like working out. It becomes a natural part of their day. The less we leave success up to motivation, which is fleeting, and the more we make it a habit, the easier it becomes to stay on track. Consistency also allows for continuous learning and adaptation. No one gets everything right on the first try, and those who expect perfection from the start often give up too soon. But those who are consistent treat every failure as feedback. They adjust, refine, and improve over time. They do not wait until they feel ready. They start, learn from their mistakes, and keep improving. The process of trial and error is what leads to mastery. Every great writer had drafts that were terrible before they became masterpieces. Every successful entrepreneur had failed ideas before they found the one that worked. Every top student struggled before they excelled. The key was that they kept going. Consistency compounds over time. Just like a small amount of money invested regularly can grow into a fortune, small actions done consistently can lead to incredible results. A student who reads 10 pages a day will finish multiple books in a year. A person who practices a language for 10 minutes a day will become fluent over time. A professional who learns one new skill each month will be far ahead in their career within a few years. Success is not about huge leaps, it is about small, deliberate steps taken consistently. Another critical aspect of success is adaptability. The world is constantly changing, and those who cling to old ways of thinking and learning will be left behind. Being adaptable means being willing to change your approach, learn new skills, and evolve with the times. It means not being afraid to step outside of your comfort zone, even when it feels uncomfortable. In education, adaptability is key to staying relevant. The skills that were valuable a decade ago may no longer be enough today, and those who refuse to learn and grow will struggle to keep up. Adaptability is what allows individuals to thrive in uncertain situations. No one can predict the future with certainty, but those who are adaptable can navigate changes and challenges with confidence. This is why lifelong learning is so important. The most successful people are not those who rely on what they already know, but those who continuously seek new knowledge, perspectives, and experiences. They embrace change instead of fearing it, and they see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles. An adaptable mindset also fosters creativity and innovation. When you are willing to question assumptions, experiment with new ideas, and explore different approaches, you open the door to breakthroughs. Many of the greatest innovations in history came from people who were willing to challenge conventional wisdom and try something different. They did not stick to what was comfortable. They pushed boundaries and reimagined what was possible. Adaptability is also crucial for resilience. Life is unpredictable and setbacks are inevitable. Those who are rigid in their thinking often struggle to recover from failure, while those who are adaptable find new paths forward. A student who fails a test but is willing to adjust their study habits will ultimately succeed. An entrepreneur whose first business fails but learns from their mistakes will be better prepared for their next venture. An employee whose industry changes but is willing to learn new skills will continue to thrive. Another powerful mindset that leads to success is taking responsibility. It is easy to blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck for setbacks, but true growth happens when we take full ownership of our actions and outcomes. When students take responsibility for their education, they stop making excuses and start finding solutions. They do not wait for teachers to give them all the answers. They seek knowledge on their own. They do not blame the system for their struggles. They figure out ways to improve. Taking responsibility means understanding that success is in your hands. While external factors can make things easier or harder, they do not define your potential. What matters most is how you respond. Those who take responsibility do not waste time complaining. They focus on what they can control and take action. They recognize that every choice they make contributes to their future, and they hold themselves accountable for their decisions. Personal responsibility also builds character and integrity. People who take responsibility for their actions are respected, trusted, and seen as leaders. They do not make excuses or shift blame. They own their mistakes, learn from them, and move forward. This mindset leads to greater self-discipline, higher achievement, and stronger relationships. The path to success is not about luck or natural ability. It is about consistency, adaptability, and taking responsibility. It is about showing up every day, learning continuously, and taking ownership of your growth. Those who embrace these mindsets will not only achieve success in their studies, but in every area of life. The future belongs to those who are willing to put in the work, learn from setbacks, and never stop growing. Success is not just about intelligence, talent, or luck. It is about having the right mindset. The way you think shapes the way you act, and the way you act determines the results you achieve. The difference between those who reach their full potential and those who fall short is not a matter of natural ability, but of perspective, discipline, and persistence. There are 5 fundamental mindsets that separate high achievers from the rest. Consistency over intensity, purpose over pressure, collaboration over competition, adaptability over rigidity, and responsibility over excuses. These mindsets are not just theories, they are practical principles that can transform education, careers, and personal growth. Success is not about sudden bursts of effort. It is about showing up every single day and making steady progress. Many people believe that success comes from moments of extreme effort, from working late nights or pushing themselves to exhaustion for short periods. But true success comes from consistency, doing the right things repeatedly over time. A student who studies a little every day will outperform a student who crams before an exam. An athlete who trains consistently will surpass one who only trains when they feel motivated. A writer who writes a little every day will finish a book, while someone who writes in bursts of inspiration may never complete their work. The key to mastery in any field is not talent. It is the commitment to small, daily actions that build up over time. The challenge with consistency is that progress is often invisible in the beginning. This is why so many people give up too soon. They expect immediate results, and when they do not see them, they feel discouraged. But success is like planting a tree. You may not see it growing at first, but with time and care it becomes strong. This is why patience is essential. Those who succeed are not the ones who work the hardest for a short period. They are the ones who stay committed long after the initial excitement wears off. They keep going when results are slow, when motivation is low, and when challenges arise. They understand that success is not an event but a process, and they trust that their consistent effort will eventually lead to breakthroughs. Another crucial mindset is focusing on purpose over pressure. Too many people pursue success for the wrong reasons. Because of societal expectations, family pressure, or fear of failure. They work hard not because they love what they do, but because they feel they have to. This kind of pressure can lead to stress, burnout, and a lack of fulfillment. But when people find purpose in what they do, everything changes. Learning becomes exciting, work becomes meaningful, and challenges become opportunities rather than burdens. A student who studies because they are genuinely curious will learn far more than one who studies just to pass a test. A person who chooses a career based on passion will have more resilience and creativity than someone who chooses based on salary alone. Purpose is the fuel that keeps people going when things get tough. Finding purpose requires self-awareness and reflection. It means asking deeper questions. Why am I doing this? What impact do I want to make? What excites me? Those who find their purpose do not need external motivation. Their inner drive pushes them forward. They are not just working toward goals, they are working toward a vision that excites them. When people operate from a sense of purpose, they are more engaged, more willing to take risks, and more likely to overcome obstacles. They see setbacks not as failures, but as necessary steps in their journey. They are not just chasing success, they are building a life that is meaningful to them. In education and work, collaboration is often more powerful than competition. Many people are taught from a young age that success is about being better than others. Students are ranked against their peers, employees are compared for promotions, and people are made to believe that there is only room for a few at the top. But the truth is, the most successful people are not those who try to win alone, but those who work well with others. Collaboration leads to greater learning, deeper insights, and stronger support systems. When students collaborate, they learn faster. They share knowledge, help each other understand concepts, and push each other to think in new ways. A student who struggles with a subject can learn from a peer, while a student who excels can reinforce their learning by teaching others. In the workplace, collaboration leads to innovation. The biggest breakthroughs in history, from scientific discoveries to technological advancements, were made by teams, not individuals. When people work together, they combine their strengths, challenge each other's ideas, and create something greater than they could have alone. The shift from competition to collaboration also leads to stronger relationships and greater emotional intelligence. In a competitive environment, people see each other as threats. They focus on outperforming others rather than learning and growing together. But in a collaborative environment, people support each other. They develop empathy, communication skills, and the ability to work in teams, skills that are essential for success in any field. The reality is no one achieves success alone. The most accomplished individuals in the world, whether in business, sports, or the arts, had mentors, teams, and networks that helped them along the way. The sooner people embrace collaboration, the faster they grow. Adaptability is another crucial mindset in an ever-changing world. The skills and knowledge that are valuable today may not be relevant tomorrow. Those who are rigid in their thinking, who refuse to learn new skills or challenge their own beliefs, will struggle to keep up. The most successful people are those who embrace change, who are willing to learn, unlearn, and relearn as needed. Adaptability requires a willingness to step outside of comfort zones. Many people resist change because it feels uncomfortable, but growth happens at the edge of discomfort. Those who take on new challenges, explore different perspectives, and continuously update their skills will always be ahead. The most successful companies, the most innovative thinkers, and the most resilient individuals are those who do not fear change, they seek it. They understand that the world will not wait for them, so they take control of their own learning and evolution. Finally, success comes to those who take responsibility rather than making excuses. It is easy to blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck for failures, but those who take full ownership of their actions are the ones who grow. They do not wait for perfect conditions to take action. They start where they are with what they have. They understand that while they cannot control everything, they can always control their response. Taking responsibility means acknowledging mistakes, learning from them, and making improvements. It means refusing to let setbacks define you. The most successful people are not those who never fail, but those who use failure as feedback. They see every challenge as an opportunity to learn, every obstacle as a test of resilience. They do not waste energy on excuses. They focus on solutions. This mindset also builds confidence. When people take responsibility for their success, they stop relying on external validation. They become self-driven, capable, and empowered. They understand that their future is in their own hands. Success is not reserved for a lucky few. It is available to anyone who adopts the right mindset. Consistency over intensity leads to long-term growth. Purpose over pressure makes learning and work fulfilling. Collaboration over competition accelerates progress. Adaptability over rigidity ensures resilience in a changing world. Responsibility over excuses empowers individuals to take control of their destiny. These mindsets are the foundation of success in education, career, and life. Those who embrace them will not only achieve their goals, but will do so with a sense of fulfillment, confidence, and lasting impact.